What's going on, guys? So today we're going to learn how to do the press boxes. As you can see, I've already done one side of them. The other side needs completed now. It's still hollow. So what we're going to learn today is, or what we're going to do today. So what we're going to do today is build them. We might also be able to build the locker rooms today, because I don't think the press boxes are going to take very long, so I'm not going to show very much of me building it. It is extremely redundant. It is doing the exact same thing over and over and over and over and over. So, we might be able to build the locker rooms today. One change I wanted to note was the bottom set of tunnels. I've expanded to 3 wide. I just think they look a little bit better. And so that's how the stadium looks as a whole now. These still look massive to me, but that's how they are. Nothing we can do about it. So, let's get started building the press boxes on this side. The first thing that we have to do, obviously, is put a floor in. So what I did over there and what I'm going to do over here is the first floor will be right here for this one. I'll pretty much build that all the way across. And then the floors down there will be a little bit differently. So this one will go to right here. And it will just continue, obviously, going at this height. Let's see, we don't want to go too far here. All right, yeah, let's just go right there. So this is the kind of grunt work of the whole thing. What I'm going to do is try to build it to where I can get some big squares that I can use the fill tool with, because that is the most efficient way about going about this. So I'm going to put this floor in, and then we're going to come back and start building the boxes. We about to turn it on. Alright, so we've got the floor in now. At least good enough to where we can start on this. So I was doing them over there. I'm going to have to do them a little bit differently. I was putting a wall on 0, 0. And then I was building, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually one off. So this is how I was doing them on that side, and I think that's how I normally build them as well. But as we all know, the TV booth normally sits right on the 50 or close. I normally always put it right on the 50. The TV booth is fun to build. People like it. It's added value because people think it's more detail. So what we'll do is we'll just keep these measurements the same. We'll just cut into one side and make these extremely small booths so we can keep all the measurements the same. We'll do it out here. So what I normally do is 2. And this is what I did over there, obviously. Okay, and then I bring this across like so. That. So I leave that much space. And I fill the white parts in where I can. Like that. And then the leftover spaces I fill with glass. Clear glass. I'll show you why. You sit up here. This is where wool, or like the same texture as the wall, you wouldn't be able to see the end zone. So when you're up here, it actually makes no difference in the video when I show it, but it does make a difference if you walk around. So we'll make these extremely small, like this. So put a wall there. I was formatting the interiors, putting a piece of glass right there. Putting 2 torches. torch there, and one on the corresponding side, but there is none on this one. There will be on the rest of them. It's probably a bad prototype to start with, but it's one of the more fun things to build because you can make it look pretty similar. So this is our small booth that will surround the TV booth, and we'll do one on the other side and build the TV booth in between. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing over here. I like to do them in 2 corresponding colors or 3. I think I did 4 with the Baylor ones. Just depending on how many team colors it has. I like to use white walls, so I don't normally use white as one of the colors for the bleachers. But you can, if you want, use gray walls or something like that. And that would be fine as well. Plenty appropriate. Or use a light gray instead of white. It's really up to your creativity. That's the only limit. Door will go right there. That. Okay, and we'll put the TV booth in the middle. Always knock out the glass, so this will be the TV booth. Normally knock out the glass for the TV booth. There to there. Do that. This glass in. I pretend they stand on a little. Let's go ahead and get the glass in. I pretend they stand on a little pedestal. Oh, I like it like that. Although you can't just fall out of that. Maybe I don't like that as much. I don't know. You can just walk right over that anyways. You can walk over single blocks now. Do it like that. I normally put, there's always a big green screen behind the crew, the TV crew, if you've never been in a college football stadium or a football stadium in general. It might not be something you know, but there's a large green screen behind them, and there are a bunch of lights. This is the green screen. I use glowstone in some select areas here. A lot of light. Yeah, I don't want you to be able to see the glowstone from the bottom though, so maybe I won't use it up there. Okay, and then I like that alright. What I'm going to do is make this like a stage. I like this better, this idea. Let's see here, where's that gray stained glass? Perfect. We'll put the pane on top of it. I think I like it. Perfect. Okay, then I'll put me 2 steps in here. And I have a TV booth. I'm going to fly out of here. There we go. Look at it from the field. That's about what it looks like. Alright, now we'll go ahead and finish the rest of the booths. So, How we do that is we're just going to run the white wall here now that we've got it set. We're just going to run it with the curve. Just go one past it. So it ends right there, so we'll just go one past it every time. Okay, so that's as far as I'll go for now, but you get it. You just go on around the corner there. Then I just alternate my colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll build these two up to show you how to do it, and then we'll give this a break because it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, so we need to put in some doors now. I was using this door for this level. Actually using different doors for every level. You see when we get over there we'll use some different doors. For right now, that's our door situation. Go in here and finish this up. This isn't finished. And put that there and that there. Perfect. Squeeze out of here and then close this wall up. And we'll go do some more different fun stuff. Perfect. So let's go take a look at what this looks like from the outside. You see it looks pretty much exactly like this side with the exception of a green little green piece. So I'm going to finish maybe from there to there up, and we'll come back in. Start working on the locker rooms. That's what everybody likes. Alright guys, so one of the hardest things to figure out when you're building your stadium is exactly where the locker rooms are. I know through some YouTube video research that this tunnel in front of me is the tunnel that the Oklahoma State Cowboys run out of before their game. So that leaves us with two options. Either one, our locker room is right there, or two, the locker room is right there. Or I guess three, I guess it could be catty-cornered. I hate to do that because that's not fun, building everything sideways. So what we're going to do is build it like so. We're going to build it as if this extends back. And this is not something that I think has to be 100% accurate. We're going to build it as if it extends back like so. Maybe, and then this is the wall that starts the locker room. I know that this is where the top is, so our locker room can only be 3, 4, 5, 6 high. What we'll do is we'll replace the floor, of course. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to want to look at is pictures of the locker room. Football locker room. Most universities have two locker rooms. One is their game day locker room, and one is their practice facility locker room. So we want to make sure we're looking at the game day locker room when we click in. Now, the first thing I see is stuff like this, and this is fantastic. We can flip through a couple pictures. That's LSU. We can flip through a couple pictures and really get an idea what it looks like. And another thing is, I hate to play another YouTube video on my YouTube video. Looking at stuff like this, Oklahoma State athletics facilities stuff,
We've been in our facility now a year and a half.
Like this kind of stuff is really okay. So you can see that. Okay, so what I'm taking from this video is I saw that where that door opened. That's the perspective that I want to build from. All right, Wes.
We have LED lights lighting up lockers. We have.
Let's get on with it, Wes.
Leather couches.
Go back to that door opening.
And hang out after practice.
Right there. So that's where we're coming in from. So that's kind of what our locker room has to look like. So I'm trying to envision of what kind of shape that is. Normally they're pretty straightforward. This looks like some angular stuff that. So maybe I'm thinking that it kind of looks like a curved version of a home plate. And then it maybe goes back into this little circle area. Yeah. Or no, it's almost squared. Nice. This is yeah. So this is, see from that other view you can tell this is a different set of lockers than this. This does not go in there and curve. That pole blocks the view. But when you go into this, you can see that that's angled and those are flat. So it's a square that leads back into the circle thing, and everything's angled. That's not too. Oh man, I want to count how many angles there are, obviously. So if this is the center point probably. So there are 1, 2 sets on each side plus the wall lockers. Doesn't look like there's any lockers on the back wall here. I don't know if there's lockers on the front wall. Yeah, there are. So this is the doors. There's probably 2 sets of doors that come in right here. It's like a circular thing. 2 sets of doors come in probably. There's probably one right there, but if not, I'll just build this one for now. There's like a okay. I think I can handle that. So right here, there's like a circle thing. Let's say it's like this. Like a circle thing, like this. This wall can be adjusted. Okay. And then this wall probably shoots out at least, I would think, probably that far. And then it goes back. I want to make sure I leave myself plenty of room for the in-betweeners too. So there's lockers all the way around through there. Let's pull back up that video. This is a great resource. Back to where Wes finally stops talking to me and I get to see this. And they're angled towards the center. So there's like a set of lockers like right here. Sets of 3 make the most sense. This. There's like a set of lockers right there. There appears to be a set of lockers maybe like right there. And some straight down the center. Careful that these don't get too close. I might space those out one. This is all about pre-planning, as you can see. There. Alright. And this appears to come around the bend. Should be enough. And maybe has the same kind of thing that's going on. Bends out. Same thing that's going on over there. Okay, one thing I think I see I can do from the video is maybe make the circle a little bit bigger, especially the one in the back. Definitely a little bit bigger than that. I like that better. There's lockers that go all the way around the edge, none on the back wall. Okay. I think we can handle that. I'm not sure that those start that far up. The way they angle the camera when they walk into this thing, not entirely helpful. Yeah, I guess that's a straight one, I guess. There's, well, I don't know if there's a straight one or not. You can see it really good from back here. One, okay, wall, and then there's four. So maybe there is no straight one. Yeah, there is no straight one. 4 and 4. Okay. Changes it. So I just calculated it wrong. Let's just move this 2 in. Great. So that's our lockers. That's how they're situated. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is put a floor in. Go back to this video and we can see that it's mostly a gray carpet. So that's what we're going to start off with, is a gray wool. Our coordinates like we always do. 89, 80. I think 7 is the wool command that I want to use. Fill 89, 180 with 123, 132. Wool 7. Yeah. Okay. And then look like the opposite side of this circle, so it's like a ellipse kind of thing. That's this with the orange. Okay, the first thing I notice is that I am going to want to get the OSU logo in there, so that probably needs to be a little bit bigger. I think I need a pretty considerable amount of space to get that in there, so what we'll do is we'll make it a little bit bigger by going 1. We might expand that a little bit later as I get, if I need to. But for now, that's fine. Let's put some light down here. Okay, I thought the lockers were pretty evidently made of like the dark wood. Use the dark oak wood planks, and then because it's Oklahoma State, let's use the orange planks. Look at that. Okay. I don't like putting lockers in the corner, so we do that first. You can determine what you want behind it. I'm just going to put sandstone back here, see how it looks for now. We might go with a different kind of wood or something. Sometimes I like to put a light wood behind it. What the sandstone looks like, since most of the stadium's built out of that. Probably looks pretty good. To add a layer of hidden light, one of the best things you can do is put a torch inside each locker. Adds light to the area, and it kind of conceals it a little bit. These torches up now. Okay. So for the betweeners, we'll just go take the sandstone straight up to the top. I'm gonna make sure we get the proper amount here. There'll be a locker there. Ooh. We about to turn it up. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's move the sandstone back here. And then begin to evaluate a little bit what it looks like. Pretty clear to me that there were some gray caps on the end. Get some light gray wool. Look like they were like this. Kind of concealed the lockers a little bit. That they need concealing. They look really good, in my opinion. Alright, I'm pretty much sold on this locker room style. I think I've got it right. So the next thing I'm going to do, maybe do this. Add a little bit more space here. Okay, and this is the center point. The next thing I want to look at, now that I got that in safely, is the roof of the place, which is white. And this is basically all. So, okay, looks white, so we'll just add a white roof. Okay, and then drop all this out. Okay, so what we're going to do is the mirrored image now. The mirrored image is becoming famous in locker rooms, especially if your logo is symmetrical, but even in Oklahoma State when it's not. So this is becoming super popular, so what we're going to do is drill this up to the roof. We're going to do glowstone. We're going to do a mirror image of what's below. Now from above, that kind of makes sense, but I'll show you why below it really doesn't. But colleges are liking to do this with their locker rooms. Almost every locker room I've ever built has had this in it. Like to put their name on the roof, upside down. I think for places like Tennessee, like where the logo looks the same forwards as backwards, it makes sense. For other places, and Texas has a similar logo. I think other places might be. No, that looks as good. I remember doing Baylor's and it looked kind of weird upside down. Down here, it looks kind of weird. Looks backwards. Is what it is. All right, so this looks like to be. It's like a wood frame, same as the. There's lockers, like a whiteboard in between it. That looks good. Alright, so now we're going to just continue building the lockers. So I'm going to get all the lockers built. We'll fast forward through all this and then we'll decide where to go from there. Alright, so I think you guys have a pretty good idea how the finished product is going to look as far as the locker room is concerned. I do want to cover one other thing in this video, is that the visitor's locker room is probably going to be over here. And I normally try to build it as generic as possible. Normally just a big square, or really not that big of a square, just a square that will suffice, and I put oak wood, just really generic kind of stuff in. Show you how to do that. This tunnel probably serves more purposes in all actuality than just the visitor's locker room. I'm sure it does, but today it's just gonna have a visitor's locker room. Super generic. Make it about yay big. I'm also going to put some team showers back there at some point. But I've got to leave something for the final video. I think that's one of the things I want to leave. So I normally just do this. 93, negative 47, so fill. Then I would build the walls up, and I'll just show you real quickly how I build the lockers. in this corner. So normally as generic as possible, and I just build as many in a square as it'll hold. So we use the oak wood. I guess we'll remind them when they're in cowboy country doing that. So that's about all the time I'm going to spend building the visiting thing. But it's a cool feature to add. It's value added, so to speak. People think you spent a lot more time than you really did. And then that's pretty much it. I normally put like a door in the center somewhere. And that's the visitor's locker room. Put some lights in the top. We have a show. So I'll save the full versions of the locker room for the actual stadium video. Other than that, we're really looking good. When we come back next time, I'll have all these suites finished. It's a really redundant process. And I'll have the locker rooms finished, but I probably won't show them to you. Come back next time, we've got probably the longest video yet. I don't know how much fast forwarding I'll actually do or not, but you can see a lot of this stuff. I've started doing some of it, but we're going to build a lot of concession stands. We're going to lay the proper stones. We just have these for place fillers right now. We're going to get all this contoured and then draw a lot of curves. Then in between here, there are staircases in between each one of these, and you know how many of these we built. We have to build stairs that rattle back and forth up to the top. I'm going to build one set of those on stream or on video, and then I'm going to build the rest of them off video, and then I'll put out the actual stadium video. So one more video left to go in this series, and good or bad news for you, it is probably going to be a relatively long one. We've got lots of stuff to do, finish everything up, and then but it's all kind of related to each other. It's all part of the same, like building the interior. But I would like to leave something to surprise for the whole video, so I'm not going to show you everything that I do. Then I'm going to detail the outside and build the roads and streets and bridges. That's kind of a long, simple, boring process. But other than that, we should be able to get that in the next video. And then we'll have the finishing stadium video, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you'll tune in next time.